we have to study what is computational chemistry. We know that chemistry is the science that deals with the construction, transformation, and properties of the molecule. That is, when and wherever we study the chemistry, we are dealing with the construction of materials, transformation of materials, and in general, the properties of the materials. That is, we have to construct some materials. Once we construct some materials, or where there is some natural materials, we have to transform that materials, or we have to transform the constructed materials, and also we have to find out the different physical and chemical properties of the materials. Materials may be in general molecules. There are a large number of different subfields of chemistry. Among these, theoretical chemistry is a major subfield of chemistry where we are employing a large number of mathematical methods and fundamental laws of physics in order to study the process of chemical reactions. Generally, if we take any system, that system is consisted of a large number of molecules, and also these molecules are composed of a large number of atoms, and also the atom composed of a large number of charged particles, that is positively and negatively charged particles. So if we take any system or any molecule, that molecule is composed of a large number of positively charged and negatively charged particles. And these positively charged and negatively charged particles are held together in a molecule. These molecules are held together by the Coulombic interaction between these positive and negatively charged particles. So if we take any system or any molecule that contain a large number of atoms and a large number of positively and negatively charged particles, and these are held together by Coulombic interaction between the positively and negatively charged particles. If we take molecule, there are a large number of molecules. These molecules are different from each other. Why these molecules are different from each other? Because the different molecules have different number of positively and negatively charged particles, and the Coulombic interaction is different. Because of this, these different molecules are at different geometrical positions. That is, the positively and negatively charged particles are in different geometrical positions. So the molecules are different. For example, consider two molecules, that is ethanol and diethyl ether. If we calculate the empirical formula of these two molecules, that is ethanol and diethyl ether, these two molecules have the same empirical formula, that is the same number of atoms and the same type of atoms. But these two molecules are different. Why? Because the arrangement of positively and negatively charged particles in these two different molecules are at different geometrical positions. In ethanol, it is in a particular geometrical position, and also in diethyl ether, that is in a another type of geometrical position, that is the position of positively and negatively charged particles are at different geometrical positions. So these two molecules that resulted in the formation of ethanol and diethyl ether with different chemical properties. Another example is the butane. We take the butane, butane have different conformations, and these different conformations have different energies. Why they have different energies? Because in the different conformations of butane, they have the different number of positively and negatively charged particle arrangement. So they are chemically different and they have different energy and they are at different geometrical positions. So if we take a particular molecule, so for a given set of nuclei and electron, that result in the formation of particular molecule. So the theoretical chemistry is used to calculate a large number of properties of the chemical systems. That is, by employing the theoretical chemistry, one can find out the different geometrical arrangements of nuclei and how these different geometrical arrangements of nuclei resulted in the formation of a stable molecule and how the stable molecules are formed, and theoretical chemistry is used to calculate the relative energies of these stable molecules, and the theoretical chemistry used to predict the physical properties of the molecules. That is, the theoretical chemistry is used to calculate the dipole moment, the polarizability, NMR coupling constant, etc. And also by employing the theoretical chemistry principles, one can find out the rate of a reaction, that is, the rate at which a particular stable molecule can be transformed into another molecule. And also one can find out the time dependence of the molecular structure and properties. We know that the structure of the molecule depends on its time. If we take the Schrodinger wave equation or a system, we can write the Schrodinger wave equation, that is time independent Schrodinger wave equation and the time dependent Schrodinger wave equation. Using the techniques of theoretical chemistry, we can calculate the psi time dependence and the time independent Schrodinger wave equations. And theoretical chemistry is used to calculate these different time dependence and time independence properties of the molecule. And also we can use to the molecular theoretical chemistry is used to calculate the molecular interactions. By employing the quantum mechanics or quantum mechanical principles, we can solve the chemical problems. Right now, we can solve the Schrodinger wave equation exactly for systems having only one electron. For systems having more than one electron, we have to separate these systems into different pseudo one particle systems. Then solve the different pseudo one particle systems separately by using the Schrodinger wave equation. You know, the Schrodinger wave equation is H psi is equal to E psi, where psi is the wave function of the system and E is the energy of the system. By using that equation, we have to find out the wave function and the energy of the system. in order to find out the solution for the Schrodinger wave equation of the system, or in general in order to find out the numerical solutions to a given system, or for a large number of for a many body system, we have to perform a large number of mathematical operations or a large number of mathematical calculations. Prior to the advent of electronic computers, the number of systems that could be treated with high accuracy was very limited. Now, the computers are widespread in many branches of science. We are chemists. Chemists are now using computers, and by using these computers or computational techniques, we are calculating the mathematical calculations. This has now spanned a new field in chemistry. Now it is called computational chemistry. And now computer is used as an experimental tool like an NMR spectrometer. Computational chemistry is focused on obtaining results relevant to chemical problems, not directly by developing a theoretical methods. There is a strong interplay between the traditional theoretical chemistry and computational chemistry. We know that theoretical chemistry may be defined as the mathematical description of chemistry. The term computational chemistry is generally used when a mathematical method is sufficiently well developed so that it can be automated for the implementation on a computer. So, in order to use the computational chemistry for a particular problem, we have to develop a suitable level of theory for that system. Once we know the suitable theory for a particular system, or once we developed a suitable theory for a particular system or particular chemical system, we have to implement that theory into a computer. Then the computer calculate the properties of the system by using that theory. So the computer doing mathematical calculations in chemistry. One of the main problems in computational chemistry is in selecting a suitable level of theory for a particular problem. And another problem is to evaluate the quality of the obtained results. Once if we develop a suitable level of theory and if we implement that into a computer, that computer gives the solution for that system. Once we get the solution, we have to evaluate the quality of the result obtained from the computer. So we have to compare that with the actual result. These two are the two main problems in the computational chemistry. This is about a brief introduction on the computational